Yo, what's going on?
Yo, yo, yo.
My name is Demir,
My name is Jordan.
and welcome to the Summers Out podcast.
Well, let's go. Let's go. So, go.
Today, this podcast is really just about talking about different things that we learned in first year and just about anything in our life, whether it comes to talking about deep questions, talking about our university experiences.
No, yeah, like we just wanted to start the podcast because we met together this year. I think it was second semester we first saw each other. We introduced ourselves. We had friend groups. Friend groups merged together, and then I being really close with this guy. Had similar classes, so we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah, and I think just developing that kind of relationship between us in first year kind of shows how it'll grow into something big. And that's why we kind of want to start this podcast because we're so similar to each other that we're able to kind of create something fun and innovative out of it.
That's true. That's true. Like I always wanted to start the podcast because I've always looked at like people that have talked and like they talk so well and talk like as if they have wisdom and talk like they have conviction. And I always wanted to learn how to do that. And I thought like starting a podcast would help me practice my speaking and try and elevate myself to even better things.
Yeah, and I wanted to start a podcast too because I always valued like communication. I always wanted to be able to emphasize that everyone can communicate with each other and everybody has that same type of accessibility.
Yeah,
And so I feel like podcast is one way where us as friends can just like talk to each other while still
exactly.
having that kind of ability to talk and have a fun time at the same
True,
time.
true,
So
true.
yeah.
So like as it started, how was your university first year, bro? How was it?
Oh my days, bro. Dude, organic chemistry, calculus, dude, especially as like, we're in biomedical sciences.
Yeah.
At first when I was going to university, I didn't think it was going to be this hard. I mean,
Mm.
like we got stacked on with biology courses, organic chemistry courses, even English courses, psychology courses. And it was just, dude, I would feel like I'm in med school, but it was just kind of this whole bash at me, and it really took me by a hit. But over time, it definitely got easier, and I was able to catch on pretty quick. How about you?
No, yeah, bro. Like university first year, holy. I'd say, cause like going into it, like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Like in high school, I was taking all science courses and even computer science. So I was like, maybe I might want to become an engineer. Maybe I might want to become software, maybe computer science. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, you know what? Let me choose biomedical. Something happened to me later, earlier that grade 12 year, and I was like, you know what? Let me start doing biomedical science. I want to learn about health science. I want to learn how to do medicine. Thought that I believe this is a profession that I want to be at. So I wanted to do that. And then going into first year, I was kind of sad. Did you ever do like the frosh stuff? Like, I don't know,
No, not at
you didn't do
all.
frosh? No, I didn't either. I just like I saw my friends do it, and I was like, dang, should I have done frosh? And I was like kind of sad and all, but I just knew I had to lock in from the start. And
Yeah.
then like those first 2 weeks, I was like, yippee,
Yeah.
like even during orientation day, you meet your new friends, and then did you ever do orientations or
No, I didn't do any of that stuff.
you didn't do none of that? You just
No.
came in first day and was
Yeah,
like,
first day I just had to lock in, and I didn't even lock in, dude. Like, dude, I always wanted to, like put my full effort on 100%, like studying and stuff,
yeah,
because I feel like that was the only way to succeed. But I realized that you need to have a good balance.
that's
Like
true.
sometimes you're definitely gonna feel overwhelmed. There's no way you can just study every day constantly on it. And like you were talking about the orientation stuff, like that's really important. Like while I was like starting off first year, first semester courses, I hear my friend who's like in business stuff, that like the Telfair management people,
Yeah.
they get to go on a yacht and like party,
Wait,
bro,
yacht?
or like a boat or
I heard
something.
like a field trip, but a yacht?
Yeah, like a boat or something. But
Hell?
they get to spend so much time, just like getting to know other people. And that's kind of why I wanted to start the podcast because we didn't really have that type of experience. And
True.
this is kind of a way to be able to expand it and do it like more on a intercellular level,
So intracellular, doing the method,
Yeah.
doing the method.
And yeah, no, I think next year I'll definitely try to be more involved in orientation stuff, even though it starts to get harder over the years. But
No, like
hopefully, yeah,
I was gonna ask you about the orientation, cause dude, like you meet those people like
yeah,
those orientation days, and
yeah,
I wish somebody told me that like sometimes the orientation people you meet, you're never gonna see them ever again,
Yeah.
like ever. It was actually sad. Like I met them on the last day of orientation. I met these 2 or 3 new people. I've never seen them, and they're all in my classes. Never once said hi.
Yeah.
They never once said like, "How are you doing, Jordan?" or anything. I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, I was sad."
Yeah, that's rough, dude.
Yeah, but then like university went on. I was first semester, I'd say like the fall was a bit of a. I was just undercover. Like I was just in the water,
Hmm.
testing the waters out, doing all my classes, going to school on time, just getting everything done, and then you feel tired afterwards. Like halfway, like I remember bio like evolution.
Yeah.
Remember the lab with the
Yeah.
cladograms, dude. Dude, if I was
That was
if I
bad.
was to tell you guys that cladogram thing was, oh my god, we stayed there from like one. It was hilarious. We had a midterm that same day, so we got there at probably 10 a.m. Midterm at 1. So then we had our midterm at 1, and then we came back to the CRX library, grinded out um grinded out the cladogram assignment until 10. Until
Damn.
10. We stayed there late.
Damn.
And it was hilarious because we saw other people there too
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh my god, that
damn.
that one was so bad. I don't know. For some reason, like we learned that kind of stuff in high school, but we never learned how to actually draw one.
Exactly.
And when you think about evolutionary relationships, you think, oh, this is really easy because dolphin and then whale and then
Mm-hmm.
lamb animals. But it was actually something completely different, and I think everyone did bad on that. That
Bro.
was
I mean, I
generational.
did good. I did good.
Okay,
I got a 90
Maybe
something. I
Jordan
did good.
clutched, bro.
I
Like
collect.
I don't know, I didn't do too well on that one, but
That's fair. That's fair.
in
Yeah.
the end we clutched up.
A
So
lot of my friends didn't do so well.
yeah.
And then nobody told me about anatomy, dude.
Oh,
Oh my
anatomy was something
god,
else,
bro.
bro.
I
Anatomy.
wish like somebody told me that, like, because obviously you have the people that tell you like, yo, anatomy, like it might be your hardest course, and then you have another person like, bro, anatomy is so light.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro, anatomy is light, or this
Yeah.
class light. I'm like, dude. And you took anatomy in person, online first
Online,
semester,
online. I took it
online,
on both times. Yeah.
both times
Thank,
online.
thank the Lord I did.
Lucky.
Anatomy in person would have been absolutely brutal. If you saw the slides that our professor was posting, dude, it was just words. Like there were pictures, but the smallest pictures, and then there's just words and
Oh my
facts and
god,
stuff. And
bro.
I mean, it was definitely like good. Like I definitely like learned a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
like I would never wish that upon anyone again.
Like I won't ever forget like you would just see the class throughout the whole semester just dwindle down, dwindle down, dwindle down. It was hilarious. Like because we had at 8:30 on Wednesdays, so like I'd see like a bunch of people in the Monday class, nobody at 8:30. It was
Yeah.
just me and my friend, and we're just like, oh my god. And then like I'd see like my other friend, like this other guy, fall asleep like this.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, it's really that bad. But we got through. We got through with
Yeah.
an A in that class. So
Virtual was good because I'm pretty sure it was like later in the day. So
yeah.
like I didn't have to wake up and I would probably fall asleep. I was in the class. It was virtual in the morning too. But like it was good because it was recorded too. So
Mm-hmm.
we were able to go at our own pace. And it
Lucky.
was low key like I mean, dude, I can't even go 30 minutes through one lecture. Like I have to go 30 minutes and take like 2 hour break and then continue the next 30
Bro, that's
minutes
the
because
TikTok brain, bro. That's
yeah,
the...
it definitely is, bro. Dude, because what's it called? Anatomy is just one of those subjects where you can't focus 100% without um, your mind going off because every little
Mm,
fact is something you need to know,
exactly.
especially like the course itself. It doesn't matter who your professor is.
Yeah, she took out like the most minute details of a lot of
Oh
things,
yeah,
and those were tough. And then probably the worst thing of all, because we lived in Ottawa. What school did you? High school? Earl?
Earl March.
Earl?
Yeah,
Yeah, I went to All Saints, so they're relatively near each
yeah.
other. But dude, nobody told me. Like, I wish somebody told me about the commute system.
Whoa.
I was trying to get a hold of like older students. Like, how did you guys commute here? Did you guys drive? They all told me they'd bus. I was like, okay, I'm a bus. Nobody told me it was gonna be an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh my days, bro. Dude, it's actually the worst. Having to wake up, especially for like 8:30 classes. Oh my days, dude. Sometimes waking up at 6 and waking up 6:30 and even then I'm late because sometimes you have to take a bus
Mm-hmm.
and like you probably have to take like two buses or you drive
I
to
would drive to a spot and then
yeah, you
take a
drive to the
bus.
park and ride. But sometimes like I have to take two buses and one bus stops. One bus just stops. and then I have to take the train. One day on my exam day,
Yeah.
I went like really early because dude, I never risk like going later, bro, because I knew something's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah.
And the train shut down, and I had to take the 16, and it went all the way around the neighborhood until it got to the university.
God damn.
And then I still got there like I think 30 minutes. But usually that's like the moment I knew I should go like 4 hours before, bro. No matter the
God
time.
damn.
And that's
I heard about that like that stop day. Like
yeah,
people were telling me like the whole train station was packed and
yeah.
like everyone had to take buses, but I didn't know it was.
It was bad. And yeah, like you were saying, dude, the the commute is horrible. The commute is so bad, especially because in fall and winter, since you're paying tuition, you do get the bus pass,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. But like summer right now, you have to pay for your own, and it's really inconvenient, and you have to like tap every time, especially for me,
Yeah.
and especially for you. I mean,
Yeah.
good that you got a bus pass.
I got a
That's a really smart thing to do. But that on top of commuting, that just like it's a little salt in the wound. It's a little salt in the wound, bro.
especially since we're
And we're
broke.
broke,
We're
dude. We're
broke. I
broke.
have no money. I have probably like actually I don't know how much I have. Like I don't even check. I don't even check. I just pay the tuition and then like
Yeah.
hopefully I could get a lunch at Rito. But like
Yeah.
dude, like we're like it's annoying because like you
Yeah.
want to get a snack in the vending machine. And then you're like, your card to decline. And then you
Yeah.
see like everybody else passing by. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, is the card gonna decline?
Yeah. I mean, I think for us, at least it's better, like compared to like people who live away from home.
Sure.
Because let's say, for example, like Western people or like like maybe not Queens people, but Western people
Mhm.
or like Waterloo people, they're paying like 40 grand, 20 grand in tuition. And sometimes they still do have to bus too.
Really?
So
I didn't know
yeah.
about that. I thought they were living on res.
Yeah, some live on res, but I know a lot of people who like got like houses nearby because their
Okay.
whole family maybe like moved there or something. So they still have to like move. But like, I mean, it's still bad for us. Like an hour and a half, like time is really important, but like it's kind of stressful times, especially on top of our course load.
Yeah.
It's just it's rough, bro. It's rough.
I didn't know that. Like I don't have many friends that like at different universities,
Mm-hmm.
Like I just got the uottawa Carleton,
Yeah.
some Queens, but
Yeah.
damn, I didn't know it was like that. I thought everyone was living on res, partying at a
Yeah,
Western and
bro. Oh my
like the
goodness.
Waterloo like engineers and stuff, like the transformation.
Yeah.
First year to fourth year, bro. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know. Damn.
Yeah.
But then, as the year ended, like for fall semester, I was chilling. Christmas break. I was like relaxing,
Mm.
and then, dude, a second semester started, and I was
Oh.
like, bro, like, I don't know why. Why? I was like, why?
Yeah, second semester was like something else, bro. Because chemistry went from like math to like drawing, bro. Drawing is not my specialty, bro. That's something else, bro. That's a whole different
Oh
field for
man,
someone else, bro.
dude, that OChem. Oh my
OChem
god,
was
bro.
it's definitely new, bro. For those who are taking OChem, bro, you guys gotta actually like lock in.
Lock
Yeah,
in
read
from
the
the
textbook.
jump.
Even read the textbook.
Yes, read the textbook, do the extra practice
Yeah.
problems, and like a tip for you, like newcomers, dude. Whatever the professor says, like in lecture, that is not at all the only stuff you should be doing to prepare for the midterms and tests.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, the professor might go over one or two examples that are like the easy, trivial examples, dude. I can't even. Like even in physics right now, it's like
Yeah.
that. Even in
Yeah.
physics right now, I'm like, yo, this guy's going off the most trivial examples, and then I go to the extra DGD. I'm like, dude, I've never seen these type of questions in my
Yeah.
life. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
It's definitely a jump. Because like teachers in high school were like, I think they knew what to cover and they
Yeah,
gave you
true.
those specific resources because there wasn't that much ground.
Yeah.
But like OChem is like such a big field and all the like stuff we covered in uni is so big. And it's
Way
just like,
too much.
dude, taking on so much,
And
bro.
I won't lie, one of the best advice I gotten, it's actually so true. Like I think it was during either orientation or it was like in high school. I can't remember. But one of them, they told me that a like a a week in high school is like a day in university. And
Uh-huh.
whenever I heard that, it made so much more sense.
Mm.
Like when people told me, "Oh, like in grade 12, we spent like 3 weeks on Krebs." I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Wait, what? We did that in half a lecture."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, what?" And then like even
Yeah.
the OChem learning, we didn't even do that. Like learning the
Yeah.
names and stuff. We're like, "Oh, if you know it, you know it. If you don't
Yeah.
know, that extra studying for you,
Yeah. It's
Gosh,
definitely a jump, yeah. And I think like you were saying, piece of advice. like something my dad told me, or like he's been telling me ever since I like graduated high school, was like whenever you want to do anything, always put like 100% of your effort. If
Mm,
it's like studying, playing sports, even playing video games, like
mm,
you want to put your full effort to be the best.
that's true.
And I tried to put that mentality going into OChem,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like in the initial part, like in the beginning, I was like, yo, this isn't that bad, just
Mm-hmm.
naming stuff.
It
Like
was normal.
we learned some stuff in high school, and then we started jumping, and I was like, whoa, stereochemistry and all these new topics. I was like, yo, what's
And
going
the new
on?
topics were early. Like a
Yeah,
lot of the other classes, like because first year is usually like a review, try to build a basis.
yeah,
So we're like, oh, I already know like a bunch of this stuff. Maybe
yeah,
I'll learn like one or two new things.
yeah,
OChem, it's like from like the jump or like in 2 weeks, you're like already learning like a whole new
yeah,
set of terminology, new
yeah.
techniques. I'm like, damn.
And it's definitely not like for you guys watching, it's definitely not something to stress about. I think you just have to put a lot of practice because OChem, like Gen Chem, like usually have those similar types of questions. Like it's all just kind of math based, like calculate pH and
Mm-hmm.
stoichiometry. But OChem is like there's different scenarios where you have to draw and different mechanisms and stuff. So you kind of really have to put 100% of your effort in order to master it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then like I mean, yeah, the rest of the second semester it was chill. Like the winter commute, I thought it wouldn't be as bad as I thought it would
yeah.
be. It wasn't like terrible as in like the train. Like I was hearing like older students telling me like the train was gone every like second
Yeah,
day.
actually,
I was like, dude, what are you talking about?
yeah,
And they're like, yeah, there was like no trains for like a week. I
yeah,
was like, what? But then yeah, I mean it was calm. Like it wasn't crazy cold. I mean,
yeah,
like it wasn't like ridiculous. It was just okay, man.
yeah. It was definitely a long
Yeah,
winter too,
it
though.
was
Like it started winting until like maybe March, April. It kept
yeah.
snowing and snowing. I mean, I thought that would bother me, but it didn't really bother me. I just
No,
kind of treated it as a normal winter. It didn't really impact the bus or train or
no.
anything. And yeah, like dude, Ochem was worse than the snow, bro.
It was
Ochem was
worse,
worse than the
bro.
winter. The winter's coming, bro.
Just study up your outcome, guys. I'm
Yes,
telling you.
bro.
I,
Yeah.
so I got some questions. You know what I mean? I just
Okay.
want to pull us up some questions. Line up the mood. Okay, so I had like this crazy like thing. Like I was thinking about it like on the train this other day. I was thinking about like blind people. I was like, because like they don't really see, and like some people get blind from like birth. So like I was gonna ask you like but it might be like a little deep, but like, do you think like blind people like when they're dreaming and when they're sleeping, do you think like they actually see, or do you think like they just dream like the sounds and like like what would their thoughts
Yeah.
even be? Because like they don't really see people,
Yeah.
they don't really like know anything what it looks like. So like, are they dreaming sounds? Like,
Yeah.
or
I mean, like I think that like since blind people don't really know like stuff around them, they like sometimes they know how to describe it, maybe by feel or something,
hmm,
but they don't really know what it looks like. So maybe like in their dreams, they interpret it the way they will. And they're dreaming about stuff they think it's something that they think it is. Like maybe a book is like some random thing, like a book is like this, like a phone or something, or like a unicorn is like it doesn't look like the unicorn we know, but a unicorn they interpret to be. So maybe they dream about it like that.
maybe I mean like because I was thinking like even clouds like like
Yeah,
what do you have the dream of like lying down on the clouds? Do they even have dreams like that? Like I don't know. I was in like a very deep thought about this. I was like like are they dreaming like sounds? Like because I know like some people say like they can see sounds or whatever. I'm like
mm-hmm.
first of all I'm like what? But then I was like maybe it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
do they dream like braille? Like what like I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a really weird thought now that I think about it, because they haven't really experienced things we have. Like they don't have their full like sensory whatever. They
Exactly.
just kind of think what they know or whatever they know. And the braille thing, I mean, I don't know about the braille thing though, but like yo, I don't
Okay, yeah,
know.
that was a bit of a
Yeah,
stretch. That was a bit of
but
a
the
stretch.
cloud things kind of make sense. When someone like describes it, like when you describe like a fluffy pillow type of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe in their dreams they kind of are able to dream similar to us of what
Mm-hmm.
we think it is. But Loki, I think their dreams are out of space. I think their dreams are
out
out
of
of the
out of
thing,
this
bro.
world, bro. They're out
Out
of
of
this
this,
world.
literally out of this world, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just weird thoughts, like
yeah,
people like it's like with like deaf people. Do you think like what do you think they're hearing in their head? Like what do you think they're thinking in their head?
yeah.
Like, do they just think words that they see, and how do they pronounce those words in their head? Like, I've always like wondered like these random,
Yeah.
just random facts. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
It's really weird, bro. I have a question for you
you
this
know
time.
what's for me?
So, would you rather go back in time and change whatever you want? So you go back in the past, change whatever you want, or go into the future and you don't get to change it, but you know what happens in the future.
So wait, I get to I can go to the past,
Yeah. Change
change
whatever you
the
want.
past. So I'm guessing my age. I'm guessing like if I change the past, like everything that what I've now changed wouldn't be my present. Like for example, us doing the podcast right now. If I
Yeah.
change the past, we might not be doing this podcast
Yeah.
anymore. And then take a sneak peek into the future.
Yeah.
Oh, but I don't get to change anything.
Yeah.
But like
It's
that,
really like unpredictable.
oh my
Bro.
god, because like I can change like a lot of things, but like if you change a lot of things, then
Yeah.
you're like, what am I even doing right now?
Yeah.
And then if I go to see the future, I'd be like,
Yeah.
wait, I got 2 kids in like 2 years. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a tough, bro. Wait,
Yeah.
okay, I actually never thought about this question like that. Cause like I wouldn't want to go too far back. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to go to like 2 years old, 3 years old,
Yeah.
be like a man baby and be like changing like nothing
Doing
in that.
calculus, bro.
Your whole life. Cause like I could easily say, you know, I'm gonna just become the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna invest in Bitcoin. I'm gonna invest in Bitcoin in 2015, 2016,
Yeah.
or 2020. But then again, like you invest in Bitcoin, you become rich.
Yeah.
I'm not here anymore.
True.
I'm probably gone. Maybe my people even around me might feel envious of me. I might not have many friends.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough question. Like even I had this question, but I never really thought too deep about it because looking in the future and knowing like you'll know what happens and you'll kind of be maybe you'll be sad, maybe you'll be motivated and you just continue your life as it is. But you look past, you change stuff, you don't know what's gonna happen in the present. Like you could change stuff. Maybe you did better in school. Maybe you didn't do better in school. You could change. You might be changing your major, bro. You could be an engineer. You could be medicine. You might not even be in school. You could be an entrepreneur, bro. And you could be an arts dude. Like I don't know. It's really it's a really unpredictable question. Like I genuinely don't know.
If I had to choose, because now that like the past thing, like I was gonna think about that at the start, but then now I think about it, like it's too scary. It's way too scary. So I might have to take a peek in the future. Like I might just chill there. Like it's not like I'm like doing like the Back to the Future type future where I'm sports betting or whatever. But like, oh my god, like
I mean, yeah. I think the way like I would have thought about it, like a way I think about it right now is kind of like if I were to do better in high school, maybe, and I could have applied to these better schools. But then again, I still don't know because there's so many other factors. You can't just go back and do better in school and expect like a better outcome because maybe you will, but maybe you won't. So I might have to side with you on this and kind of look in the future because a safe option. I mean, if you look in the future, you see if you're going down the right path, following through what you're doing right now, and you don't see a happy future, maybe you can just change the present and maybe that might change something. So
that is true. I could look into the future and be like, but no, but then that again, that is your already future. So whatever you so like think about it. If you saw the future, then your future self already knew you saw the future, so you would have already changed it. So
yeah,
that's okay. I'd still have to go with the future.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you one thing. Like, if you had a hot take, what's like one hot take that you don't think anybody would agree with you, but like nobody can like stand up to you against it?
Hot take.
Like for example, for me, I had like a hot take like Justin Bieber. I honestly, true-heartedly believe that if Justin Bieber never went to jail, he could have become the next Michael Jackson. I genuinely believe that.
Really?
I believe he is the Michael Jackson of our time.
Huh.
Or at least the millennials' time. I don't know. I'm Gen Z.
I mean, that's a good take. Like, I mean, I don't know if I agree though.
Like think about it, baby. That 2015 album, I'm forgetting on the top of my head. It's like the one where he's like it's gray and it's like him just like standing straight. But that album was crazy. I'm telling you, like he had the hits. He had everybody going crazy. He had his fans passing out.
That's true. But like I feel like Michael Jackson has like a very particular, like Justin Bieber was definitely popular, but I don't think he had that same kind of effect that Michael Jackson like would have like did have, even if he didn't go to jail.
No, I know. But like, think about it. Like Michael Jackson, when he was younger, part of the Jackson Five, he was
Yeah,
popular
yeah.
as a kid. Then grew up, then became popular. Justin Bieber, as a kid, popular. As he grew up, became even more popular, and then went to jail. Imagine he
Hmm.
didn't go to jail. It's like saying, imagine Michael Jackson didn't get vitiligo or whatever made
Hmm.
him white.
Oh man, that's a really hard take. I can't lie. Like when I think, I mean, even if he go jail, I feel like that kind of shaped him into like he's very up there with Michael Jackson.
But like
Similar.
now he's like, like
Yeah, now
we're
he's like
not
all
trying,
over the
not.
place. He's all over the place right now. He's soaked up. He's definitely all over the place.
Oh
But
man.
I think I don't know. I feel like Michael Jackson just had this level of respect and kind of like his audience was kind of like everyone, like all ages. I feel like Justin Bieber, even like the type of music he was making like then, like Baby and
Yeah.
stuff. Even after jail, he was probably making like similar music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'd probably reach all those audiences and kind of have that even after jail. Like they
I
even after
mean,
jail, I don't know if he had the same, but like it's a hot take. It's a hot
it is
take.
a hot take.
It's
Like
a hot take.
I generally believe it. Like it was like cool because like people were telling me, oh, the weekend, but I was like, I guess, but kind of not. I don't really see the weekend. He doesn't have the dance moves.
Mm,
People were saying Chris Brown, he had the dance moves, he had the
yeah,
moves, but like he wasn't as popular like
yeah,
that. Like he was popular, but not like to the masses to where people in Japan are like
yeah.
Chris Brown, Chris Brown.
Yeah,
Like the way Michael Jackson had people.
yeah,
I don't know. It's like I've always thought about like JB. Like what happened to that guy? Like what?
yeah.
Like he could have been the next. He could have been the next Michael Jackson. He could have been
Yeah,
the next
no,
Michael
that's
Jackson.
valid. That's valid. And like we were saying about the weekend, bro, I don't think the weekend's that
Uh,
good.
he's
Nah,
not him. He's
I
not him.
mean, I've seen like people like like they're like fans of Weekend. They'll buy like all this merch and stuff.
Yeah.
But I listen to his music, like some songs, low key,
Sometimes
they're
I gotta
pretty good.
slap. I gotta slap.
Some songs,
Like,
some of the most popular songs, like
you're like, what?
bro,
Like,
what? Like who likes this music? I mean, no offense, he's a great artist,
true,
but like
true.
dude, people need to slow it down. I think they need to realize that there's definitely like other bigger artists who are
Mm,
like better, even smaller artists who like
mm.
you know need more recognition. But I mean, he is pretty popular. I don't blame him. Like that's pretty valid to like his music. But paying like $300, like my friends, into like end of July,
Yeah.
so around their physics exam, bro. These people, they're gonna go to Toronto to go to the Weekend concert. They're paying like
Really?
600, 700 for not even a floor ticket, bro. These are
Like nosebleeds?
yeah, like they're like really really like they're not bad seats, but they're like really far away from the stage. But
Yeah.
you're paying like $800, bro. 800, and his
Like,
music ain't even that good.
it's not
His
crazy. His
music ain't even
music's
that
not
good.
like
Like I maybe I do that for like a Coldplay concert or like
Coldplay is
Bruno
good.
Mars.
Also, I heard a lot of Bruno Mars be
Yeah.
like, but then like I don't know what happened. Like he had 24 karat. Like my friend, he says the funniest joke every time he says it because he's like a little short kid. So he's like, it's
Oh.
so funny when it comes out of his mouth. But like he always says like, bro, Bruno Mars, he made 24 karat magic, Uptown Funk, grabbed his bag and dipped. I was like, I mean, he's not lying. Like he was like, he grabbed his bag, got his money, quick cash, and then
Yeah.
dipped for like he took hiatus. I
I
was
mean,
like,
I don't blame him. His music is still like
it's
good.
still
Like High with
good.
a
Bro.
Smile, and
That
then
oh my
Skate and all those other new songs with Anderson .Paak. Like
god.
they're valid. Like I feel like Bruno Mars is pretty consistent
Yeah,
with his
he has
music
cons-
like throughout since like 2010s.
true,
Doo
true.
Wop Hooligans, 24 Karat
Damn, you
Magic,
even
all
know
that.
you even went back doo
Yeah,
wop.
man.
Holy.
Yeah.
Now he knows his
Yeah. Bruno Mars is one of my favorites for sure.
really.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
are your top three artists right now? Top three.
Top three right now.
Or I'll give you top five. Top five
Top
artists right now.
five, damn. Definitely Daniel Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Daniel Caesar fan. Rex Orange County is up there.
I have
Rex
no
Orange
clue
County.
who the heck
Really,
are those people. What
really.
is that a band?
It's one singer, but
Oh,
I
it's
think
not.
it's like a band kind of thing. I'll show you after.
Okay.
So Daniel Caesar, Rex Orange County, Bruno Mars for sure. This is kind of tough. I haven't really like thought about this because those like I only been asked like top three,
Mm-hmm.
four and five. Hmm. Okay, while I'm thinking, why don't you start? Because I can't.
Okay,
I'm not.
top five. I gotta go with my boy Drake. Gotta go
Okay.
Drake.
Yeah.
I like Drake. I mean, all his
Yeah.
music, his rap, his R&B, even his slow songs.
Yeah.
Kind of good. Drake. Next one I go is J Cole. I love J Cole.
Okay.
If you give me a J Cole song, I love his like bars. I like how he talks.
Yeah.
His creativity is really good.
Mm.
And then I gotta put Frank Ocean up there. Like Frank
Oh
Ocean.
yeah,
Frank
I need to put
Ocean.
him on my list, bro.
Frank Ocean. People have been telling me get into Tyler the Creator too. I mean, I'm gonna
Tyler
start. I'm gonna
Creator.
start getting into him. I mean, he's cool. He seems like
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, Frank Ocean, J Cole, Drake. I used to be a Future fan. I don't know if I still am. Like I listen to some of his music,
Yeah.
but it's mainly just like to vibe and just
Yeah.
like relax. I mean, Future, he's a good artist.
He's
Good
a great
artist.
art. Yeah. Sure.
Good artist. And then if I had to substitute Future, I'll put Thames. Thames.
Oh,
Thames.
Thames. Yeah, I
Thames.
think I definitely put Thames up there too,
Thames.
because Thames, like, I feel like her voice,
Verse.
it's
Yeah.
like the deep and a little bit gravelly, so it's like nice to listen to.
Exactly.
And I know she made a song with J Cole. I'm pretty
She
sure I
did,
talked to you
yeah.
before.
Free
That
fall one.
it's called Free Fall. It's really good.
Really good song.
And I definitely put Thames on my list, and I also put Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean, I listen to a lot. I mean, like I've seen like more and more videos that include his audios and stuff and his songs, and like it just makes it like so much better. And then when I listen to it on its own, it's like its whole own experience.
True.
And like I think like we should probably cherish music more. Like music is such like an amazing type of communication that we can use. If it's like even for yourself or listening with friends, it's like this whole thing.
Okay, now if I had to ask you, okay, on the music note, I gotta ask you something. So like I was also thinking about this the other day, where like when you sleep, do you sleep with like music or like white noise, or like how do you feel about people that like say, Jordan, I have to sleep with like white noise or air conditioning on, or else I can't sleep.
Yo, that's blasphemy, bro. That's
Like,
blasphemy.
okay,
Because I mean, for me at least, like when I go to bed,
Mhm.
like sometimes I watch TikTok in bed, I turn it off.
Mm.
But even the slightest sounds like piss me off. Like so I can have a fan on, like that's fine, like that's constant.
Okay, but that would be counting as noise, like white noise.
Oh, that's true. But like, yeah, no, that's fair, I guess. Yeah, I guess like a fan is fine sometimes, but
But you don't like what if they're listening to like that somber music, like like that low or like meditation
I
music.
can't do that, bro. Like I remember I tried because like one night I was having like trouble falling asleep. I tried all the methods. Went on Google. Boom. What's the one of them? Do push-ups. Dude, try to like do the plank,
What?
make you tired.
Said do push-ups.
Yeah. And it was like
That's
listen to
make it
white
tired,
noise,
yeah.
brown noise, whatever noise, and I was like, yo, this is not working.
It's not it.
Tried to listen to a podcast, didn't work, but I don't know. For me at least, like maximum fan. But like otherwise, I like it dead silent. Like no one bothers me. Not scared of the monsters or nothing.
You're not scared of the monsters?
Nah.
You don't believe in monsters?
No, bro.
Bro, what about Bigfoot, bro?
Yo, this guy said Bigfoot. Sasquatch, bro.
No, I'm telling you, there's been video evidence, bro.
Bro, dude, go to Alberta right now and go find one.
There's been video evidence. Have you not seen that one video where it's like this guy like a videotape like this big thing coming into like a forest, and it was like this helicopter just bringing in this big thing like covering over like a tall forest. He videotaped it, and then it cuts to him like in like an interrogation room where he's all scared like I did not see that, all that was fake and all that, and it looked like somebody was like a gut just I don't know. I'm saying, and there's been like footage, like there's footage. I'll show you after.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
But on the note of like people like this, I don't understand it. I don't, and like I always wonder like, is that like somebody's defect? Like, would you say that's a defect to somebody? Cause like you could say like you can have an addiction, and then you can say that it helps you. Cause some people say, oh bro, I like drinking, I like smoking. Yeah. Like it helps me be more productive. Like, okay, buddy. But like it's like, is that like a necessary defect you have to sleep?
Yeah.
Because like you would obviously people say smoking for studying better or like more active. I mean, like that's kind of bad, dude. But like when it gets to simple as like white noise, like would you count that as a defect? Like, are people like just like brain dead? Like,
yeah, maybe. Oh, I haven't really thought about that. The defect point is actually really good. Just thinking about like when I think about it, like someone's sleeping, and then they just hear this like loud noise coming in their ear. I don't know. Maybe it like helps calm the brain or something. Maybe it is defect like you said, but like they might be cooked, bro.
They might be cooked.
They're
Too
psychologically
much
might
TikTok
might be
brain.
good. Yeah, too much TikTok, bro. Or maybe they listen to music like almost all the time, like every
Mm.
single second of the day, eating lunch, going to take a
Having an
bathroom,
AirPod
bro,
in.
taking a bathroom. Like it's just maybe their brain is just so used to it that
Mm-hmm.
they need it to like have their like normal type of position in life.
No,
Which is
it's just
normal.
like I find it so odd too.
Yeah.
Like, why do people like? Because like always people want to be like even with like like even with the smoking thing, like addictions and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never like understood like people saying like because like obviously people have sleeping pills, but then like do you think that's a defect? Do you think people like on
Mm.
sleeping pills are like, oh, I can't sleep because I need my pills. Do you want
Yeah.
to go get my pills? I'm like, do you really need those pills,
Yeah.
or can you like change like there's this thing like self-limiting like biased almost to
Yeah.
where like people would say like, oh, I need this to do it, but what if you just change like your mindset? Like what if you like instead of saying I'm not a morning person, what if it's that you are a morning person, you just don't choose to be a morning person?
Mm.
Like because you can just become a morning person.
Yeah.
Like what if you have a job that you really need and they require you for 6 a.m.? Oh, now
Yeah.
all of a sudden you become a morning person.
Yeah.
So are you really not a morning person? Like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. I don't get these people defects and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like
Yeah.
people, but hey, people have lived their own lives.
That's true. Yeah. I
It
think
is a bit different.
on the idea of like addiction,
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to mention like dependency. Because
Dependency.
like you were saying, like people want, yo, go Jordan, go get the sleeping pills, bro. Those type of people. Like I think to the point like maybe they started with like getting sleeping pills and maybe it helped them in the beginning, but then like we learned in like psychology and stuff, like they just build like a higher tolerance and until the point where
Exactly,
they
bro.
really need it. And I think the same thing applies to music. You just listen to music all the time, or maybe you started sleeping with them at night, you wanted to try it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you just come consistent where, oh my god, I just can't sleep without it.
True.
And for me, because I don't have no wired earbuds or anything. I just have AirPods. The one thing I'm scared about, because I usually flip over a lot in bed, because I always want to go, oh, cold side, hot side, cold side, hot side,
So true.
and like
So
I don't want an AirPod. Like I just start sleeping on my
true.
AirPod. That
Bro,
stuff gets stuck in
yeah,
there,
I
bro.
guess.
And and then just music stuck in my head. I can't do that. And like addiction, I think it's definitely more or less like an addiction than it is a defect, because they just
Mm.
depend on it.
It's sad. It's
Yeah.
sad. All right, let me see if I got another question.
All right.
Been thinking about. Okay, okay. I do got a pretty random question. What's like something that like you always randomly start thinking about? Like like you might be in like that friend group and like they're all chatting and then you're just staring and like opening it like this and you're like
Hmm.
what is something that like you always like when you start to drift off into the distance that you start thinking about? You start talking to yourself.
Honestly, like I mean, maybe it's just me, but like sometimes I just think about like the future,
Mm-hmm.
like not just like me getting into med school or me not getting into med school, but like the far future. When I'm like older and maybe I'll have kids and a wife, and I see my friends and maybe he didn't end up with a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these kind of like hypothetical scenarios when I'm with my friends, and it's kind of sad. Like it
Mm-hmm.
does bring the mood down a little bit, but usually I snap out of it within like a couple minutes or
Oh, so you're
nobody
you're able to
notices.
snap out of it quickly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But it's thankfully it's not something that I like to worry about too much. But when I see like some of my friends, maybe they're not studying enough, or maybe they're not doing too well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're too busy with stuff, they're working too many jobs. I just kind of have a little bit of concern for them. But other than that, it's usually just me dreaming about like scenarios in video games or something, dude. Like maybe like Elden Ring or like
Elden Ring.
anime.
You play Elden Ring?
I mean, I did for a little bit. Like it was definitely hard,
You have a
man.
PS5?
I have PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run it, but it's like
You
really,
can?
really, yeah, it's like 30 frames or something. I had to
Oh,
like do a mod, like
damn.
virtual machine installation or whatever. But my brother's like a whole geek at that tech. This guy's Switch Lite, PS4, uh,
Jesus Christ.
computer desktop, and my dad just like feeds into it because why not, bro?
Computer science major.
Computer science, bro. How about you?
No, I mean, like, obviously it gets sad because, like, I'd be thinking about a lot of times space, like,
Mm.
The universe, a lot of things that you like can't control. Like, is existence even real? Like,
Yeah.
like I go into like this thought. I'm like, I'm thinking about space and like how small we are compared to the universe.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, wait. First, I gotta ask you: do you believe aliens are real?
No.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no,
The
man,
idea that
no, no.
other beings are real. I mean, it makes sense, but like I don't feel like there hasn't been enough proof yet.
No, obviously there's been no proof. I'm just saying, do you believe in them? Like, do you think it's real? It's like saying, actually, well, there's been proof of dinosaurs, but it's like saying, like, friggin' the Sasquatch, the Sasquatch.
Yeah.
No, no, but I'm saying I believe aliens are like real. Like, I really do believe that like there is other life. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna be somebody that walks out on Earth and be like,
Yeah.
and then, and then you're like,
That's
wait,
exactly what I was thinking.
okay, no,
It,
I don't think it's gonna be like an alien be like, and you see 9 eyes coming out of his body. It's not
yeah.
gonna be an alien like that. But I do believe like there's other life like outside of our realm, and I'm like, what if we actually like was able to like meet up with them? Do they also see the same stuff that we do? Like,
Mm,
you know how like I was like, there's that space thing where people are like, when you look at like a certain star, like where you can look at it like the dinosaurs or the prehistoric
yeah.
time when you're looking at it. I'm like, do they look at that too? And also, like, big topic about it is, do you think aliens have a higher knowledge power than us? Do you think
Mm.
that they've already solved like 4D, 5D, six dimensions?
Damn. I mean, now that I think about it, I do think like there's other life. Like considering from like a religious perspective, like say like God, I feel like He wouldn't have just put like us humans
Mm,
on a planet. I feel like there has to be other life forms. Especially like I watched a video where it was like it starts from Earth and
mm,
expands out, and there's like these different galaxies and stuff. So I definitely think there's a strong like there's a probable chance that maybe there's other aliens. And I don't know about IQ, bro, because it's kind of hard to define it, like
yeah.
what. But I feel like they'd probably be more innovative than us, because I feel like I don't think they have buildings and stuff. Like,
Okay.
right?
I
There's no
mean,
way. We
I,
don't know though.
I mean, what do you think they're like? Because like, you have you heard of the thing where like, the way we look at chimpanzees is how aliens look at us? You've heard of that before?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, do you think like that would be real? Like, you know how we go to a zoo and we look at all these animals, hi, be like, hi. Do you
Oh
think if
yeah.
aliens actually came over, they just be like, hi, or they're already just watching us and they're just observing? Like, they're just,
Could be. I mean,
what if
it's
Earth,
weird.
what if Earth is just a massive zoo? What if they have cameras all
Oh,
over the place? There's already satellites.
that's true. Yeah, that's actually
Actually,
such a
let me make sure
weird
there's not
thought.
a red dot in like
Yeah, just a laser.
no, no, a red dot just right goes right there.
It's really weird because I've always seen like on the news and stuff. There's always like all these sightings of UFOs, and
That's
I,
what I'm
I've never
saying.
like taken it seriously because I always thought it's probably just like a flying asteroid or a rock or something, and I was like, there's no big deal. But like maybe that could be happening because we have all these other planets around, and we
Mhm.
actually haven't really gotten close to any
True.
of those things. And we all know like, oh, some of these are just made out of certain material, like sun is flame and the moon is a moon rock and all these other planets. But there's so
True.
much more out there, and they
True.
could be seeing us with whatever they have.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying like one more thing. Like if you don't think they're in space, what if they're in the water?
The water. I mean,
What
I did hear that we haven't explored.
we
Like
haven't explored
we only
like
explored like a tiny chunk.
yeah. Like I think there's 75% or whatever. That's the famous stat or something like that, or 95%, something like that. Or that we've only explored like 5% of the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, low key, it's man, they could be in the water, but then again, I feel like we would have had some indication of it, like maybe just a tiny bit, right?
maybe.
Like, there's no way they've been covert for like for like years
I
and
mean,
years.
shoot, we're polluting the water right now, bro. They should be dead by then if they
That's
are.
true, dude. Pollution is actually like really bad. Like I remember I went to the beach, Britannia. I
Yo, E.
remember,
coli, bro.
yeah, E. coli, dude. That day, dude, I heard that the E. coli levels were so high. Someone pushed me in the water. I mean, I don't think I have any like disease or anything, but like I also saw like a line of
Really?
plastic just around the beach, all going all around on the rocks and stuff too. And honestly, if there were aliens in the water, yeah, dude, they're eating all our paper cups and cigarette butts and all
Mm,
these random ass stuff. They'd probably be, yeah, they'd probably be
mm.
close to dead, bro. I mean, if they eat.
I think I gotta talk to a fish. You know,
Yeah, you gotta talk to the
we gotta
fish.
find a higher power fish. You know,
Yeah,
maybe evolution. You know,
yeah.
but no, yeah. As I was like bringing all that like to like existence, thinking about existence, am I real? Like, are like not the simulation matrix thing, but like are we as humans like? Have you ever thought about like the afterlife and be like, is this it? Like, am I like right now, and then I won't ever think about anything ever again? I'll just be a mindless thought. Like, I'll just
Mm,
be like, I wouldn't even have a thought. I don't even know what would be. You wouldn't even know what would be.
mm.
You're just like there, but you're not there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's so
like when
weird.
you're dead, like obviously people have religions like, oh, there's a heaven and hell, you
Yeah,
know, there's the afterlife
yeah,
or uh, reincarnation.
yeah.
But like, dude, like, what if none of that's real?
Yeah, I don't know.
What
It's
if
so
none of that's
weird because,
real?
like, I mean, as I was born like a religious Muslim, we always had this idea where, like, heaven, hell. You always do these good deeds. You always do these good things. You'll end up in heaven. You do bad things, you're gonna end up in hell.
Mm,
But like, I kind of always thought about that thought myself, where like we're kind of just this being,
mm,
and maybe there is no heaven, maybe there's no hell, and
maybe.
when you die, that's is it just gonna be black forever? Is it just gonna be nothing? Like, what do you define as nothing? You know what I mean?
I
And
don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, like I feel like reincarnation, whatever. Like maybe you reincarnate as like a fish or a dog,
That
or
would
like
suck,
you
bro.
go through the levels again. I don't know. Maybe that idea is something else, but maybe we I don't know, it's such a weird thought. Like I'm trying to think about how like when you die,
Mm-hmm.
you'll like respawn as like the tiny thing, like an amoeba.
Mm-hmm.
And like you if you die or like a amoeba like dies, you turn into ant dies, you turn into a dog dies, and you just keep doing that until we turn back into human. But every time your memory kind of resets, so you don't really know. But like that seems kind of unrealistic because there's no proof, bro.
So
Like
you're
how are
telling
you
me I
gonna
was an insect before?
maybe maybe
But then again, how fast would that reincarnation happen? Because if I like for example, if I die today, do I just become a fly tomorrow?
Hmm.
Or like does it take like some time? If like for that reincarnation thing, like I know there's samsara or whatever, like in Hinduism. But
Yeah.
I'm like if I just like died or like if I was an insect before, like because like flies have like the lifespan like a couple of days or whatever.
Yeah.
I die and all of a sudden I'm a fish that's just been born?
Hmm.
Or do you think it's the Matrix? And
Oh, yeah.
do you think they're gonna be like, oh Namir, welcome to the afterlife? And they're gonna
Dude,
be
that would
like,
be crazy, bro. I don't know. It's really weird to talk about because like, especially when I was a young kid, like I've just been filled with the same kind of idea.
mm,
Never really thought about it until like recently, and so I don't really know. But adding on to like the same kind of idea,
mm-hmm.
do you ever feel like you're like first person in like a game, but everyone else is kind of like just another like NPC or something, and they're just kind of there to
See, I
fill your
I
like
like to
journey.
I like to believe in that, but like then I feel like too egocentric. Like I sometimes feel like, am I the main character? And then like you're like, bro, like then you're like, oh that guy's goofy, or that guy, what is he talking about? The main character of what?
Yeah,
Like, but I mean, sometimes I feel like I sometimes do feel like that way. Like I would like look around, like maybe in like a Sobe store, and I'm like, am I like the real person?
yeah.
Like, but then I also believe, do other people have thoughts like me? Like, do
Mm,
other people? Because obviously nobody looks like each other. They like look similar, but like we're all pretty much unique.
yeah,
So like does anybody like believe in the same things that I do that looks like me,
yeah,
that talks like me? Like I don't know, because like if there was, then I'd be like maybe it's a two-player game.
yeah,
But like sometimes I do feel like that ego. Like I feel like maybe I'm main character. Everybody else is just walking around. You know,
yeah.
one day go. I'm a robot. I'm like okay, we're going back in. I don't
I
know.
definitely had like a similar type of thinking, but like mine was more like I'm like first person, like I'm in this person, like I'm looking at myself, I'm living this life, and you're like a friend or like
Mhm.
an NPC. Like obviously I don't think this, I'm not
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah.
but like I had like an idea sometimes, like sometimes maybe I'm being watched or like not like crazy, but like just the idea where like maybe I'm the main character. But
Yeah.
like I never had that type of ego where it affects people and like it'll make me think I'm better than them. But like maybe in like a library or something, like I just feel like are these other people here to like shape my story, shape my journey, help me
Mm,
become the person I am in the end? And then we
maybe.
talked about death, and that's a whole different thing, you know. So it's a whole different bundle of stuff.
Maybe, bro. I don't know. It's hard to tell because like you always live in the first person and then you can think of yourself in the third person.
Mm,
So it's like I don't know. I don't know if people are like NPCs per se, but like I'd be like maybe they're like helping me on a mission.
yeah.
Maybe they're like the people that you have a conversation with and they're like, oh, I got to do this, got to do that task, and you're like, okay, let's go. I don't know.
All right. Another question.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Let's do this one. This one's a little more deep.
Okay.
This one's gonna get a little psychological. You're just gonna have to think about it. Do you like yourself?
Do I like myself?
Yeah. We'll start off with that, and then we'll move on to the next parts of the question.
I don't like
It's
myself.
I know it's a little tough because it's kind of hard to kind of describe, but I like to hear your
I
thoughts on
would
it.
say I do like myself. I do like myself, but like there's also stuff that like, for example, like you can get hard on yourself. You can get hard on yourself.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I didn't do this task. Oh, or like you're getting mad for the day, or why did I procrastinate? I had this assignment to do, or I had to study this, and then you might seem like you don't like yourself in that moment. But I think as a whole, for myself, I do like myself. I do think I'm a likable person. I just do like myself. I do like
Yeah, that's good. Um, do you think you have any like flaws? Anything like that's out of the box that you think people are looking at you all the time and think that oh they're gonna point this out?
Honestly, I do have my flaws. Do have my flaws. I do believe that like I could be very impulsive, which could
Mm,
be good or bad. To where it can be good in the sense that I would enact on that thing if it's a good moment. Like for example, oh, I realize I got to do this. I'll just do it instead of being
yeah,
a procrastinator sometimes. But then obviously, always impulsiveness can be bad. It can be not taken well across like your friends and like
yeah,
other people. So I'd say that's a flaw. Another flaw I might have is that like sometimes I wear hard on the sleeve a lot of the times, but like I don't show it. So like I'll wear hard on my sleeve and then I'll keep it all in. And then like you know how people bottle up emotions and
yeah,
stuff. Maybe one day it might become erratic. But it's
yeah,
not often. So,
yeah. No, I think yeah, man, that's really true. I think for me at least, like a big flaw of mine is that I tend to be really egotistical. Like at times when say I applied for something and I got it. I tend to flaunt it around to other people because I want them like psychologically I want them to know that oh I got this and that kind of makes me better than you.
mm-hmm.
But it's obviously not something I want to do. But I think my body, like my brain is telling me well, I did this, so that means I have to show people that I did it. Otherwise, I don't get the validation that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what that kind of like covers my personality a little bit. Because otherwise, like I like to think I'm a funny guy. Like sometimes I make like jokes or I do something really stupid, and then I'm an academic side where when I'm locked in, I study. But this side is like something that I don't want. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
something in my body that I can't control. Like academic and goofy, that's fine. I can do that.
Yeah.
But like my flaws is something we can't control and something we just have to live with. But
Okay.
hopefully it'll get better over time.
Okay. So then, if I ask, because you said the egocentric thing,
Yeah.
so follow up to those two questions, would you say you're a good person?
Hmm. I mean, oof, it's really tough because I often do like there's different sides to this
Mm-hmm.
because there's a religious side like what my parents want me to do, and there's what I think is right.
Okay.
And there's obviously what others think is right. So on my parents' side, like I was supposed to be like a Muslim. I always wanted to be. I was supposed to be religious, and I always thought that was like a good ideology to follow. But over the years, I've come less and less away from it because my parents like pushed me so much to following it, and it like made me too attached to the point where I don't really see. I mean, it's an amazing religion. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disrespecting it, but it's not for me.
So fair. Okay.
Um, And there's obviously what other people think, like the things I do, what I do, donate, volunteer, and what I do, doing good deeds and stuff. Overall, I like to think that I am a good person. I like would sacrifice myself to help others, and obviously commit to these good skills to make me a better person. But again, it's really, you can't really like define yourself. You can't really tell yourself you're a good person because you don't really know.
That's
But
true.
you know I would say overall, I'd like to think I'm a good person, but I don't really know.
No,
How about you?
I feel that exact same sentiment where like you do good things for people, you volunteer, you help out the poor, like you've seen me like
Yeah,
with people like I'll just give them a $10 buck even though he's just harassing other people. Just like give him $5 so he just stops harassing other people.
yeah,
Like I'll just like helping out people and then like but then obviously you've done bad things to people. Like
yeah,
you've hurt people maybe emotionally. I've never really physically hurt people, but
yeah,
like maybe like you say a joke and the other person might not take it as well as you thought they might take it.
yeah.
So like you can do things like that make you might think you're not as good of a person as you might think you really
Yeah,
are. But I also do agree like overall I do believe I'm a good person. Am I the one to judge that? I don't know, but I can say in myself, in my heart, that I feel like I'm a good person.
yeah.
Do other people think that? That's up to
I think you're a
them.
good person.
Do you think I'm a good person?
Good person,
Thank
yeah.
you, thank you. Okay, that's good. Let me ask you a question I've been thinking about too, because like you mentioned, funny and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I was thinking about this with like just random traits,
Hmm.
and since you brought up funny, I was like thinking, do you think you're born with being funny,
Ooh,
or is that like a learned skill? Because like everyone likes to think like themselves as funny. Like
yeah,
people like to say, "Oh, I'm a funny guy."
yeah.
Like what? Like I'm funny. Like someone that would you say you're funny? Yeah, I'm funny. Like what? Like, but do you think that is given to you, or is that learned? Is that an ego thing where you think, "Oh, I have to be funny to make it seem like to appeal that I'm actually a funny guy when I might not actually be?" Because someone might say, "Oh, I'm funny." I've never once laughed at your jokes.
Mm,
Like you'd be like that, and you're like, is this person really funny, or are they just saying it to make it more appealing as likable? Because a lot of people like to put funny as like a likable trait. They like to say, oh, like I like a dude who's funny. I like a girl who's funny. So
yeah.
I don't know. Would you say it's like a learned skill, or would you say it's like inherent inside you, or
I
in general, in general?
honestly, I feel like, in my opinion, it's more like a learned skill. Because,
Mm-hmm.
from grades 1 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, grades 1 to 8 or 1 to 9, I wasn't really a talkative person. I think I was more like introverted. So I really kept to myself. And I had like crushes and stuff. And I used to just, never really do anything about it and, stay home. And I never really had a comedic side that
Mm-hmm.
I thought was like prominent in my character. And then grade 10, I started meeting all these other people that really shaped the person who I was. And they were funny. They were really funny. And I think my definition of funny was more like I was catching on to what they do that makes them funny. And I kind of inherited that. I think it's not really inheritance like from parents, but it's more like inheritance. You're inheriting it from like other people. Like I
Mm-hmm.
see like one of my friends, they laugh in a certain way. I started laughing that way. Maybe they say a certain phrase. I'll say that phrase like "huzz," "riz," all that stuff. All these stupid phrases that kind
Oh
of
man.
shape the brain rot of now, and that like lives in
Brain
everyone's
rot,
world.
bro.
So I think, I don't know. In my opinion, it's a learned skill. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a learned skill. Obviously, people might have a gift,
Yeah.
like people might have a talent for being a comedian,
Mm,
but then if they have that talent, they also have to refine it to actually
yeah.
be like a worldwide scale. So I would say it is like part of it could be like inherent, but like I think a lot of it is like a learned skill to be a likable, funny person. To think, I think that like a lot of
Yeah.
people think that.
Yeah, like adding on to like the more inherent stuff. Like I think you're able, like I feel like if you learn comedy, you still need to like deliver it in a way,
True.
deliver in a way that's comedic and everyone can understand. And I think that part's like inherited. That part's like genetic, like from your parents. Like I know my dad, he laughs in a certain way. I've laughed that way my whole life. And he also like says certain jokes and he understands kind of like the same level of stupidity that I do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah,
No, I was just thinking about it because, like, I was thinking about there's like many other traits that like people like to say they have, but and then you look at them and you're like, I really don't think you're like that. But like
mm,
you obviously can't tell that to
yeah,
their face. You're like, bro, like they'll think you're like being a weirdo, or they think you're being too mean to them.
yeah,
Sometimes people are soft. They take that to their heart and they like just won't want to talk to you anymore.
yeah.
But like I heard like the funny thing a lot. Like a lot of people say like okay, I generally think you're funny by the way. I don't mean that to like anybody. Like I generally think you're funny. He makes me laugh like all the time. And like we see each other like three
Yeah.
times after school. He makes me laugh. So I do think you're funny. But there's other people that be like, "Hey, do you guys think he's like funny? Like, do you guys think he's funny?"
Mm,
And then he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm funny." And then we're like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, I think he's funny too." But like then you think in the back of your head, you're like,
mm,
dude, I've never really heard you say like a funny joke, or like maybe you've tried to joke and like it didn't land.
yeah,
But then also sometimes those jokes are also kind of funny. So I don't know.
yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to say.
It's definitely a tough question.
Hard to say. I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something.
Okay.
Ooh, hmm. How's your memory been since like you were over the ages? You know, has it like deteriorated? Has it improved? Do you like remember stuff when you were like born? Like what's going on?
You know, oddly enough, I only have really one memory. The oldest memory, like so, like when I'm the youngest,
Mm-hmm.
I would say is when I was 4 years old, and I remember it because it was in a dream.
Oh.
So it's like weird. Like I remember a dream of all things, and it was when I we were like in the store. This like robber, and it was weird because I saw it in third person, like a
Oh,
bird's eye
really?
view of me going into the store, the robber coming into the store, shooting up the place, save my mom. You know, just casual like superhero stuff.
yeah.
But I do believe as I've gotten older, like the less obviously the less and less you can remember of your old self.
Yeah.
So I guess your memory does deteriorate in a sense. Like, but like then again, like as you get older, you might be able to hold more storage in.
Yeah.
So like I'd say like me being able to remember like when I was 8 years old, it was probably I don't know if it was easier for me to remember when I was 5 years old, when I was eight compared to 18,
Mm-hmm.
but like I would say that I do have better memory now because I'm just doing better in school. Whether it's anatomy, biology, all those, I would say I have better memory when it comes to those. Childhood memories, yeah, those are deteriorating, man. Those are
Yeah.
gone. Those are like I'm losing them all by a second. Like I want to write down all my memories so then I don't forget them.
yeah.
Like maybe write them in a book and be like, oh yeah, I do remember that. So then I
Yeah.
don't forget it. I don't know. Like I want to have my childhood memories, but like you always tend to forget them, and then you're
Yeah.
like, damn it, I wish I could go back to those memories.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think I think the youngest memory I've had was maybe when I was like 4 or 5, like same age around you. I used to play like forts, like back in my house. Me and my cousin, we used to just hide under a blanket. My
Mm-hmm.
older brother would be like a bear, and we'd be on like a fort, kind of imagining going down a river, and he would like grab us and stuff. Um, and that's for some reason, it's just like key memories that I remember. Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to this trampoline park when I was 7. For some reason, I don't remember Disneyland. For some reason, I
You
don't
don't
remember
remember
Disneyland.
going to Disney?
Yeah, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure my parents probably spent like
Dude, they
thousands, bro.
spent money.
Bank back then.
Money.
To be honest, I still don't understand why they spend so much when we're so little because we don't remember any of it.
How
But like,
old? How old are you?
I mean, I was probably like 5, 6.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
but it's probably just me. But like, parents spending like thousands when your kid is like 2 months old or like
Bro.
a year old. I
I've never
mean,
understood that.
I never understood it. But like talking about what we were talking about before, like I think over time, like we get used to like our brain matures.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this thing online where we have like 5 quintillion petabytes of storage in our brain.
Really?
Like I don't know, that's like a rough estimate. I don't even know if that's the right number, but it's a lot of storage.
Storage?
And I think we tend to remember a lot of stuff over memories, which
Mm-hmm.
is why it's kind of harder to understand all these crabs and new stuff right now because it's starting to fill up more and more like all these tiny things. and I think our brain didn't really understand what was going on back then to be able to process it as like a key memory. And I think that's why we only remember key memories from now. And our brain just kind of got used to being able to understand what's going on.
That's true. That's true. But then when you get older, like, because I don't want to end up like a vegetable though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah,
people get dementia and stuff.
yeah.
I mean, luckily my family it doesn't have like a record of having dementia.
Oh, that's
But
great. That's good.
did you?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But like I always wondered like when do you start losing your all your memories? Like I
Mm,
wonder like if there's like a time point where like, damn, what was I doing when I was 25? Dang,
mm,
I don't even remember this person. And like even like short term memory, like I remember vividly. I went to this not ice cream shop, Froyo place, and like I was there, and then I saw this person, like this girl, and she was like, "Hi, how are you?" I was like, "Hi, my name is
mhm,
this," and we were cool. I was like, we just had a normal chat, and then I remember I came back then like another time, like a week later, and I talked to the lady that was like working there, and she was like, "You remember last time you came in? You had like you saw this person? Like what happened?" I was like, "Who?"
Really?
Yeah, I was like I did not remember at all like who that person was. Like I don't remember their name. I could remember like their hair maybe, but
Mm,
not really much that person. It's like odd. Like you like go to somewhere, you meet somebody, be like, "Hey Jordan, like how's it going?" Like it's even crazier because like people always like complain like, how are guys able to just bond and like just be able to like not even know each other's names? Like
yeah.
have you not seen like that those like memes where it's like girls are like, how do you not know your boy's name? You've been playing 2K with him for like 5 years,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah, I just don't know his name.
Yeah.
I just call him his gamer tag,
Yeah.
and you're like, dang, like does short term memory really like how I wonder what has more of an effect, short term memory or long term memory? What would you rather have without though?
Mm.
Because like if you don't have long term memory, but you have that short term memory, or you don't have short term memory, but you have that long term memory.
Oh man, that's actually really tough. Because long-term memory, obviously, you're remembering stuff from like so long ago,
Yeah.
like these key things that turn you into who you are. But short-term is really important, like day to day, when you're trying to like survive. So I don't really know, but oh man, it's really tough.
Would you say you like when you meet somebody, do you meet somebody and you remember their name or their face more?
I think for me, I remember. Oh, I think I remember more of their face.
Their
Like when
face.
I see them in public, like I'll know them, and like maybe 80% of the time I'll be able to match a name to the face, but
Mm-hmm.
20% of the time I'm just like, who is that? Like, I dude, they look so familiar, but I've never seen them before. And I was gonna say something about what you were saying before about like short term memory, like you were talking about that girl who you saw at the
Mm-hmm.
supermarket and you like next time you went you
Yeah,
forgot.
further.
Like I always thought about like writing down events or day-to-day life, because I hear about these people having like diaries or journals and stuff maybe in high school throughout life, and I think that's like really like cool and really important because as you said, like at some point your memory starts to fade because your neurons start to die and they start to die longer, they start to die faster, just noting down your day to day. And when you start to forget, you have this journal. You can read back, and people with Alzheimer's they have something like that to recall a memory.
True.
And
True.
I think if I when I get old, I want to write a journal. Like if I get time, obviously I'm not gonna write handwriting. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna get carpal, bro.
Carpal
But
tunnel.
like, but I'd probably type it, and just keep it with me. And if I ever got Alzheimer's, put like a sticky note on it, said read this if you're lost. And,
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah.
true. That's fair. Wait, do you not really not remember when you went to Disney?
No, I don't, bro. Dude, I
Damn.
remember. I remember. I went to.
Wait. Disneyland or Disney World?
Oh, I don't remember.
Damn.
Yeah. See, that's why. That's what I'm saying. I
Damn.
don't remember anything. I remember I went to like key moments were like trampoline park,
Mm-hmm.
playing forts. I think it's like really memorable events because I feel like Disneyland. Maybe I didn't have so much fun. Maybe I was crying the whole time. Maybe it was something I don't want to remember.
Yeah,
But I
that's true.
remember like going to Las Vegas and with my whole family. for like a marriage or something,
Mhm.
and we were on this big carpet. And I remember seeing like I have these photos in my living room. I go back and see, oh yeah, I actually do remember that. I was in a big banquet hall, red carpet. It's just also why like including like journals to remember like photos. Like you
Mhm.
see yourself like when you're older, you'll see yourself when you were a kid and be like, oh yeah, I actually do remember this, and it helps like recall memory, and I think that's
That's
pretty
true.
cool how the brain works. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm sad that you don't remember Disney
Dude,
World.
Disney was, dude. Oh, I still want to go. I don't remember anything.
It was a fun place when you were a kid. Like
Yeah.
I went to Disney World in Florida,
Oh.
Orlando, and it was cool. I think it was Orlando. I know it was Florida. Florida's a state,
Yeah.
but like I'm pretty sure it was Orlando.
Hmm.
It was a good, very fun, very fun. We even brought like Cubs back from Disney.
Oh
It
yeah.
was it was a really fun experience.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Let me ask you something though.
Yeah.
So um, if you were to meet somebody who was famous, who would you want to meet?
Like anyone throughout time.
Anybody through any
Oh.
timeline, any time. Who would you want to meet that's famous?
Oh man.
How about this? I'll give you two. So I'll let you choose somebody that's alive right now and
Okay.
somebody that's dead.
Yeah. What if they speak like a different language?
Doesn't matter.
What?
Like, do you want to like
Like, will
you
they
get to
translate to English or what?
no?
They
You
won't.
you just get to meet them. Like you
Oh
get to meet
man.
them. And be like, well, what if you be friends? What famous person would you want to be friends with?
Friends with
Dead and alive?
dead and alive.
Yeah, that's probably a better question. Which famous person would you want to be
Oh man,
friends
this
with?
is tough.
It is tough. It is tough. I was also thinking about this. Like I was thinking like obviously I was thinking JB, but like
Hmm.
I've also thought of like Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a very good role model. Goddamn role model. Very good role model for me. Like he's somebody I like to aspire to be. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool. Like obviously. Now here's the thing though, if you become friends with them, you don't want to be starstruck by them. You don't want to be like, oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god, Michael B. Jordan, oh my god, oh my
Yeah.
god. And then like they're like at you like weird, like calm down,
Yeah.
relax. So it's hard, but like I would probably want to be friends with Michael B. Jordan. He's cool. That's alive.
Yeah.
Now that's dead. Who would I want to be friends with? Who's dead? That's a tough one. Because I don't want to choose like the symbol like MLK or whatever. I want to
Yeah.
or Malcolm X. I want to do like something like, damn, who would I want to meet? That would be friends with when I was younger. Do you know who actually? Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh, I was
Sir
literally
Isaac
thinking
Newton.
I would do something like
Sir
that.
Isaac Newton.
That's looking smart.
Or Euler.
Yeah, because I know like apparently I watched this like video like a YouTube short or something random. Like Sir Isaac Newton like obviously did gravity and stuff, and then like on his road to discovering gravity, this guy invented calculus.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what? This guy invented everything I learned in the first year, bro.
And his like,
Like,
bro, he was like young when he like discovered
yeah,
all that too. He was a
these young
beast.
minds, they're actually insane. Sir Isaac Newton is definitely a great pick. For me, oh man, alive is hard. Dead, I think Dead will be like this doctor that I was reading up on. His
Mm-hmm.
name is Hector Wong,
Hector
and
Wong.
basically he invented these persevere. They're called persevere biomarkers that helps identify like different types of septic shock. So like
Damn.
multi-organ failure in like patients. His research is still going on. It's like
It's still going on.
yeah,
Oh,
which
man.
is great. He was at Cincinnati Hospital.
Cincinnati. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not like a big thing. Like you said, I wouldn't want to pick someone big. I mean, that would be great to meet like MLK
Yeah.
or like
But you don't want to meet your idols, sometimes you
yeah.
want to
You
meet
don't
your
want to meet
idols.
your idol because dude, they'll crush you, bro. You'll be like, oh yeah, I invented calculus. What did you do? I didn't get into med school. It'd be like this thing, and then but talking to someone where like you read up on their thing and you know like a lot about them is someone like I would pick.
That's true.
And alive,
Alive.
probably meet someone like someone chill, like someone who wouldn't like be weird around me,
Theo Vaughn?
Low key. Okay, hear me out, bro. Theo Vaughn. Like I know sometimes he can be the weirdest guy ever. Like this guy's
Out of
so weird.
pocket. Out of pocket.
He's low key. Yeah, he's like really out of pocket. But for some reason, I've been listening to this podcast for some reason I haven't been able to finish.
Mhm.
But like it's called the trauma, the unprocessed trauma
Mhm.
with Theo Von and Gabor Mate. I'm pretty sure I told you about this.
No, you did.
But I'm like literally 10 minutes from the end, but like I listen to it in bits whenever like I want to feel motivated or something.
Mhm.
But Gabor Mate, actually I mean Gabor Mate, not Theo Von, but it's like Theo Von, I feel like we probably talk about some stupid
It was
stuff while
just troll,
yeah,
bro.
just troll the entire time. But he's like this psychologist out of like Nunavut in Canada, and he really talks about like unprocessed trauma and how trauma creates unprocessed trauma, and unprocessed trauma causes all these other things.
Damn.
And
Is he like a doctor?
yeah, he's like a palliative care specialist.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, it's like end of life care.
End of life.
Yeah, and I don't know. I had weird picks for this, but it's only because like I've heard like all these like tiny people. Like you haven't heard of like these people, but they have like such major contributions that you want to know. Well, if I can like learn more about this, maybe I can do something with it.
Yeah,
So like
my picks are stupid. But
no, your picks are great because like meeting like Michael B. Jordan or meeting like these good like people like I would do that.
No, yeah,
But
that's
like
true. I just don't want to get, bro. If I'm like Isaac Newton, bro, this guy's not gonna give me the
this guy's gonna
bro.
like a dookie on you, bro.
It's good, bro. He's gonna be like, bro, what you doing, little twat? Wait, was he English? I can't remember if he was English.
Is he? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, but like he'll be like, what you doing, twat? Hey, mate, go fetch you an apple. I'm like, damn, bro. Okay, damn.
He's gonna start giving you calculus problems. You're gonna be like, yo, what? He's gonna invent a whole new
He's
thing.
gonna invent a whole new
He's
thing.
gonna invent a whole new thing right in front of you. At least you're the first one to know it, though.
The thing is, he probably won't even let me know it. He'll probably show me a bit of it and then not give me the rest.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, you'll be
Just figure it out yourself.
He'll gatekeep. He'll gatekeep.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me ask you one.
All right.
Let's take a looky here.
Two more questions, then we can end the pod.
Quote of the day. What is one motivational thing that you want to tell me and the people on the podcast? What is one?
I'm totally not searching up a quote right now. Totally not. I'm totally not.
Well, let me think. Oh man, I'm trying to think of a quote. I'm trying to think of like my like past experiences I had today, maybe.
Already today?
Well, like tiny things that I can turn into like a quote, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what, if you don't push yourself, then your life won't move forward or something, you know?
That's
like,
deep. That's deep.
Something simple like if you were to like lie in bed all day, your life would move on without you. You'd be rest behind and you don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually push yourself, wake up early, go to the gym, go to school, go to work, you're progressing with the world as it's moving. And in doing so, you're progressing everyone's life around you too. You know what I mean? Like when I feel like I just lie in bed, in the morning, I'm on TikTok and I do absolutely nothing, I think about how other people are advancing their life and how other people are doing their best to provide for themselves and even for everyone else around them. Like everyone has their own specific role. Why am I just lying in bed and doing nothing? What's my role? You know what I mean?
Yeah, this guy's coming up with the whole motivational speech, you know? Hey, that's a good quote, though. Also, with that speech, I got to change my celebrity pick. Instead of Michael B. Jordan, you just gave me the perfect one, Denzel Washington.
Oh, I like that. I like Denzel.
Washington.
I like that. That's a good pick.
You give me a good one. Okay. My quote, okay, totally didn't just search this up. Look, guys, no, I'm not going to show you. Okay. So my quote is, losers quit when they fail. Winners fail until they succeed. And what I always take from that quote is to never give up and never give in. I always never want to do something, fail at it, and then just stop. I want to be able to try it, then try it again. Then maybe find a different way to spin it, try it again.
Yeah.
Maybe after some times I might try to stop being delusional and then actually try and do something about it.
Yeah.
But I always want to keep trying something until like I know 100% it's not going to work. Like obviously I'm not talking about I'm going to start making pigs fly. Like I'm not talking about that. But like when it's like everyday life things, like oh, I did bad on like a chemistry test or something. Or like for like a real thing that happened, even like doing bad on a anatomy like midterm. I'm not gonna look at myself and be like, damn, should I like drop out of biomed? Should I just drop university? Should I just do the entrepreneur like sell course online? Like I want to at least try again. And then hey, I found out I did again. Ended up with an A in that class. Did better on the second midterm. Did better on the final. Almost 100 on the final. So
Yeah.
it was cool. And then one more quote. One more quote. One more quote. Let me find it. One more quote. I found this like online. Like this one was like when I read it, I was like, damn, like, this was a good quote. Okay.
Mm.
We're suffering more in the imaginary than in the reality. We suffer more in
Mm.
the imaginary than in reality. And what I mean by that is this always goes for overthinkers. Overthinkers. Think about overthinkers, they always, what if this happens? What if that? What if that? And then the more you think about it, the more stress you gain, the more hair you might lose, and the more you dread of what might actually happen.
Mhm.
And like a lot of people like to think of, oh, what if this scenario is going to happen for the future? What if that scenario is going to happen for the future? What if you actually just do it
Yeah.
instead of thinking about it and being like, I'm gonna procrastinate. Let me take 2 hours. Throwing their ball up in the ceiling. What
Yeah.
what I don't know. Instead of taking action, and then they think about the imaginary of what could have been,
Yeah.
and then that's also very suffering. What could have been, what would have been, instead of what did or what had been done.
That's great. No, that's a great quote. Um, yeah, dude, the never give up, and then like overthinking. Like as someone who's an overthinker, like at certain times, like maybe I'm trying to like chill for a bit, like even for like 10 minutes, I tend to overthink. Like maybe is this a good idea? Should I really be doing this? Should I be studying right now?
Mhm.
Should I be going for a run? Should I be going to the gym? Should I be doing something more productive than I am? Without ever thinking, oh, maybe I need a break, you know?
Mhm.
So I definitely think that quote is perfectly describes kind of like all the overthinkers out there who constantly think that I need to be doing something all the time. You don't need to be doing something all the time. You need a break and you
Exactly.
need to have a balance, which may be hard to find, but it's super important to find that
And
balance.
very much needed. I'm telling you
Yeah.
guys, uni, bro, uni. Like, if you guys want to learn one thing that, well, okay, actually, yeah, final question, final question. What's one advice you'd give to a freshly new grade 12? They're about to graduate, prom's coming up, about to graduate, hopefully going into the dream schools, I hope you guys go into your dream schools. But what's one thing that, like, you want to give? You can even say, to make it even deeper, what's one thing that you'd give yourself this time last year,
I think advice to myself
at this time last year?
at this time last year. I think don't let go of the friends you have because those are the friends that'll be there forever. And I think I know a lot of people who, especially for me, I let go a lot of my friends last year. A lot of people who were really important to me, people who were there like since day one, grade four, grade three, like they were my day ones,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to let them go because they were either moving away or going to a different university. And I think, like I said, they'll be there forever. Like you have family. Family is forever all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But friends are people who you can be yourself around without having being judged. And these people who are with you forever throughout high school, like you build memories and experiences with them, and letting them go, I think is a terrible idea. You're letting go of all these fun memories and experiences for what? For because you think it's going to take too much time, because you're not dedicating enough to the friendship. You're losing out on opportunities and you're losing out on the ability to um, create new memories with them and to advance yourself. Because I feel like people change. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people change. I'll change, you'll change, but over time, those changes to others will eventually impact ourselves. And I think it's a great loss for people who lose their friends over time. How about you?
Okay, that was actually really, really good. I even felt that a bit in myself.
Yeah.
I'd love to lose your friends because you sometimes become distant with your friends. They might be doing things that like you might not so agree with doing, but they're your friends. They'll always be there for you. Hopefully, anyways. Hopefully you don't have snakes out there. So I'd say I have two pieces of advice. One personally for me, and then one like in general. So personally for me, I'd said I would say always just try. Just try. Like I remember in high school, I had a very hard time with actually trying to do work, actually trying to get a good grade. Like I didn't get good grades like in high school until like obviously I was on an honor roll student, but like I was like barely making honor roll like 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like because I felt like hey I'm making 80%. I don't really need to try as much. I'm like getting 80% procrastinating to the last minute doing
Yeah.
assignments, doing labs. It's like what's the point of even trying? And then like now that I've come to university, you can't do those same methods anymore. You can't just relax. You can't like you obviously need time to take a break, but you can't just relax a whole week.
Yeah.
You can't just procrastinate that assignment because then you're gonna forget, oh, I forgot about this class. So then I would say be well oh my god, bro. Bro, like okay. Be wait, what did I just say? Okay, be actually try. Actually try.
Mm.
Please just Jordan, if I was going to talk to you in the past, please just try. Because if you at least try, you never know where it might take you, and you can actually do really good for your life. And then now to the people in general, I would say, I mean, you've probably heard of this probably like a lot, like around people, but I really do believe that you become a sum of the five people you spend the most time with. And you got to make sure those people are on somewhat of what either you want to be or on the same track as you. Because if you look at somebody who's like not doing like the needs, like you might have like maybe two friends or like eight friends that like aren't doing the same things as you. Like if you're the only engineer and you have other health, like everybody else is like a health like major,
Yeah.
maybe you might have to find more engineer friends.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're trying to get your bachelor's in arts and you have all of these engineer things, maybe you have to find more creative minds.
Yeah.
Like, because I really do believe, like, even this comes to with parents. Like, if I've seen a lot of people that like maybe they're mama's boy and stuff like that, daddy's girl or whatever, or just they hang out with their parents in general. They think a lot like them, and they tend to act a lot like them. And then when you pair them with their friends, they might gel really well together, or they might start to split apart a lot of the times.
Yeah.
So I really do believe like if you want the best for yourself going into university, you want to try and surround yourself with people that are very like-minded like you or are somebody that you aspire to be. Maybe you become friends with the fourth year your DGD
Yeah.
tutor. I don't know, maybe it's your DGD tutor that you become friends with, but like I really do believe that like the people you hang around with will make what your experience will be. If you always hang out with people that are the frat boys that like to party, no disrespect to frat people. I mean, I have some friends that are pretty cool. They're pretty cool, but like I'd say like okay, they're not necessarily the frat, but they're cool. They're cool people that like to hang out with frat people. And
Mhm.
I'd say like I won't hang out with them as much because they're not necessarily on the same path that I would like to be at in the future. Maybe they have their own path. Maybe they're finance majors. A lot of them are finance majors. Maybe they're in commerce. They want to try reach the scales of becoming investment banking, and that's for them for with their tools. But for me and my tools, I'm not on that path.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an investment banker. I want to
Mhm.
become into medicine. I want to become a doctor.
Yeah.
So I got to find other people that are like-minded that want to become doctors too, or else those investment bankers are just going to detrail, put you off your rails, or
Yeah.
detrail you from what you actually want.
Yeah.
And then you all of a sudden you're like fourth year, why am I so behind? And that's my most fear of being behind when you realize you've wasted all your time.
Yeah.
It's probably a big fear of mine.
And like just like a last thought would be like my dad always told me to like be around those like-minded individuals because eventually those people are going to be those are like connections like they'll push you to want to work harder, which is why I hang around you and I hang around like all these other people who maybe went to Waterloo or when they went to Queens Health Side, Mac Health Side, because they have like a goal and a journey in mind and you have a goal and a journey in mind, and that really not only motivates yourself your own goal and journey but also motivates me because it kind of forces me to work harder. And I think what you said was really great because especially to all the people who out there who want to make new friends in university, you really want to like look for similar traits, people who are hardworking, same goal, same journey in medicine. I have a lot of friends in biomed, and I made a lot of friends this year, which is great because they all want to do the same thing. as me, and that's pursue medicine and just have a fun life. So
All right, guys. So that was the first pod. We hope to make more soon. We got a summer. It's just we got a summer to do this.
yeah,
So we're gonna continue off into the next semester.
yeah.
It's
All right,
nice seeing you.
see you guys.
School's out.